Nothing kills my reading mojo like a bad book. There are so many good ones and so much more to do in life in general that I've been trying to learn to be okay with quitting a book if it really is that terrible. Here are 10 that I've recently abandoned and why. Number 1. Unsteady by Peyton, Corinne. I've hated so much of what I've read lately that I'm trying to trust my gut and abandon books sooner. I barely made it an hour into this one. I didn't even mark it on Goodreads like I often do in hopes of preventing me from trying it again in the future. A hockey player had an injury and doesn't seem pleasant. I guess he's supposed to hook up with an ice skater at the end, but I read the synopsis after not enjoying the first hour and saw her described as a skater with a bad attitude and not pretty reputation and decided I'm not in the mood for this college bad relationship shit again. Number 2. How to End a Love Story. I made it a little further in this one, nearly 3 hours, but I could not finish it. A guy who seems to have played a part in the death of a woman's sister takes a job writing on that sister's show. She's a passionate author and is getting the opportunity to have her book adapted for the screen, and this douche accepts a job to help and won't leave when she asks him to. The synopsis describes this as enemies to lovers, and that's already a trope that I hate, but this is completely psychotic. Let the girl mourn her dead sister and live out her dreams. Go work literally anywhere else in the entire world. That guy accepting this specific job is some demon level shit, and I was not about to finish this and hear her fall in love with him. I would have puked. Number 3. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I only made it about 2 hours into this and decided to veto the whole series. Very early on, there's a hookup scene that pissed me off so much that I quit the book. This guy's friends all bet who can fuck the main girl. The main guy doesn't take the bet and tells her about it on his way out, and she suggests that she pretend to leave with him and that they split the money. This already annoys me because that would have been a genius way for him to win the bet had he taken it, and a genius way to coerce someone into sex is not good. Once outside, he offers to cook for her if she came over. She says okay, but absolutely no sex, and he's all, "Whoa, of course not, I wouldn't want that." She goes to his place and they have sex. I hate everything about this. The bet, the lure, the "I don't usually do this" bullshit, and the near offense he had at the suggestion of exactly what they ended up doing. Consent isn't a game. Don't say no if you don't mean it. It's not cute, it's not endearing. It makes things more dangerous for the people who do mean it and go to someone's place and the other person does want something more and they make it happen. It just pisses me off, so I returned all 3 books of the series and moved right along with number 4, Shock Induction by Palahniuk. So disappointing. Chuck was my favorite author for many years, and I don't seem to enjoy his writing anymore. This is the first of his books that I tried in audio format, and it was only 6 hours, but I only made it through 3. It didn't seem to be directly about anything, and what was discussed was all horrible. There's a funny bit early on where someone climbs a church wall and is busting up the stained glass to help a bird escape, and the bird finally escapes through Jesus's face, but even that made me nervous. A bunch of kids kill themselves, and then it talks about abuse, and there's too graphic of a scene where a woman is being abused, and she's crying, and offers something else to appease him, and I was so disturbed. I returned the book immediately. That's enough for me. No thank you. Number 5. The Invention of Sound by Palahniuk. I gave 0.5 out of 5. This one was even worse. I made it a whole 2 hours into this. There's a story of a woman trying to capture the perfect scream, and we hear a lot of horrible things that cause horrible screams. There's pedophiles, and once it got to sodomy, I said, nope. My old favorite author is quickly becoming one of my least favorite authors. How unfortunate. Number 6. The Lost Story by Shaffer. I gave 1 out of 5. I made it about 3 hours into this and have abandoned it. I kept forgetting what it was about because there were a lot of bad mentions of animals, and once I'd moved beyond that, a narrator would chime in and tell us about the story. Can't you just show us the story? I ended up not caring to be shown or told about the story. Number 7. Dog Stars by Peter Heller. I gave 1 out of 5. I enjoy the apocalypse genre, but they're always touchy with me on animal things. It starts by mentioning the extinction of many animals, which was already bothersome, but I powered through that. I quit at my usual around 2-hour mark after a gruesome hunting scene. I enjoy the idea of this. A man and his dog are surviving through an apocalypse with another man. I just don't want to sit through that many bad animal scenes enough to finish this. Number 8, The Music of Bees by Eileen, Garvin. A teenage boy is trying to impress a girl and he falls off a roof and becomes paralyzed. I made it a couple hours in, but his dad gets rid of his dog when he becomes paralyzed, and I wasn't about to stick around and learn anything more. Number 9, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I had already given up this author, but I have 2 physical copies of this, so I figured I'd give it a try. I tried to read this twice, and I can't do it. It's instantly pornographic, and all they talk and think about seems to be sex. I'm not going to put up with 90% porn to get to 10% plot. Number 10, Light from Uncommon Stars. I tried to stick with this one for a while. The main character is a trans musician, but there's too much emphasis on the struggle aspect to the point that she's prostituting herself out, and it's graphically detailed, and mentions violence as well. I did not want to continue and end up traumatized, so I quit a couple hours in. That's all for now. At some point, I'll go back to mixing my abandoned ones in with my usual recaps, but I had gotten so far behind that I had enough for this full video of them. Hopefully, I don't encounter too many that I have to abandon though. Happy reading!